Would humanity survive a world without electricity? A world unplugged, navigating humanity through the abyss. The prospect of a world without electricity is a harrowing scenario that forces us to contemplate the fragility of our modern existence. Would humanity endure such a cataclysmic event, or would the absence of electricity usher in an era of unparalleled chaos and despair? This essay delves into specific scenarios and catastrophes, exploring the challenges and potential outcomes as we envision a world bereft of the lifeblood that powers our technological civilization. Scenarios and catastrophes. Healthcare meltdown. In a world devoid of electricity, healthcare systems would be thrust into disarray. Hospitals reliant on electronic equipment and life-saving devices would struggle to provide critical care. The inability to refrigerate vaccines and medicines could lead to widespread outbreaks of preventable diseases, causing a surge in mortality rates. Food famine. The agricultural sector, heavily dependent on technology for irrigation, harvesting, and distribution, would crumble. With no electricity to power machinery and maintain supply chains, food production would plummet. Starvation and malnutrition would become rampant, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. Communication collapse. The breakdown of electronic communication would isolate communities and nations. The absence of the internet, phones, and radio would sever the threads that bind us together. Diplomacy, emergency response, and collaborative efforts to address global challenges would falter, giving rise to uncertainty and mistrust. Economic freefall. The global economy, intricately tied to electronic systems, would spiral into collapse. Financial transactions, trade, and commerce would grind to a halt, leaving societies grappling with unemployment, poverty, and the erosion of economic structures. The ensuing chaos could lead to civil unrest and widespread societal breakdown. Security nightmare. The absence of electricity-driven surveillance and law enforcement tools would create a breeding ground for criminal activity. Nations would struggle to maintain order, and communities might resort to self-defense mechanisms. The breakdown of societal norms could result in an increase in violence, theft, and lawlessness. Technological regression. The loss of electricity would force humanity to regress technologically. The absence of electronic tools for communication, transportation, and information processing would necessitate a return to analog methods. While innovation might arise from this necessity, the initial transition would be marked by chaos and confusion. Survival strategies. Localized sustainability. Communities must prioritize localized, sustainable practices for food production, water supply, and energy generation. Investing in renewable resources and cultivating self-sufficiency would enhance resilience in the face of global disruptions. Alternative technologies. Research and development of alternative technologies, powered by non-electric means, would become paramount. From medical equipment to communication tools, humanity must find innovative solutions that can function without the need for electricity. Community collaboration. Strong, interconnected communities would be vital for survival. Collaboration in resource sharing, security, and the preservation of essential services would mitigate the impact of societal breakdown. Education and preparedness. Empowering individuals and communities with the knowledge and skills necessary for survival is crucial. Educational programs focused on survival skills, sustainable practices, and crisis management should be prioritized. Conclusion. In contemplating the myriad scenarios and catastrophes of a world without electricity, it becomes evident that humanity's survival is not guaranteed but depends on our collective ability to adapt, innovate, and cooperate. While the challenges are daunting, the resilience ingrained in the human spirit provides a glimmer of hope. By acknowledging the vulnerabilities and preparing for a future where electricity is a luxury, we may navigate through the abyss and emerge on the other side with newfound strength and wisdom. The survival of humanity in a world unplugged hinges on our capacity to rise above the challenges and forge a path towards a more resilient and sustainable existence.